Hello everyone and welcome back to another Bitcoin portfolio updates. If you're new, welcome. And if you're new, the purpose of this playlist I'm creating, updating you guys weekly on this portfolio, is because I want to document and share with you guys my core Bitcoin position and how I intend to manage it going forward throughout the rest of 2024 as well as to the 2025 bull run, right? So that's the purpose of this playlist. Now I'm gonna go over my actual position on it. What I have a supplemental position to this, and I'm gonna go over just my opinion on Bitcoin and my views on it, and why I am doing this in the first place. Why I'm investing in this asset in the first place. So before we do get started, everything in this video, it is not financial advice. Again, it's just a way for me to document and share my journey with you guys and give my own personal, non-professional opinions. So hopefully that's clear. Now, to get started, I have not changed anything, so I'm going to have a picture up here. I'm going to show it up right now. It's my current supplemental position with BITU. It's where that position is sitting at and the value of that position as well. Now I'm gonna open up that position real quick so I can see what it actually looks like. I haven't looked at it at all today. So it looks like the position is worth, it's 3,600. We're up $502.50. We're down a little bit from the last update. But it's looking real good. And then for those of you that are new, you would know, or if you've been here for a while, you will know that on Coinbase, they give you information a little bit differently than the mobile version. So if you guys look at the mobile version, I'm actually down $12,448 on this position. I'm down roughly $2,000 from our last update, but it's all good. We're still early in this bull cycle, and I intend to continue to hold on to this position. So I'm down a little over 12,000. This 8,857 is just a roundup. I used to trade more actively on this account earlier this year, so I made a little bit of profit, which is reflected on the desktop version. But on the current position, I'm down 12,000. I invested $80,000 into Bitcoin at an average price of just a little over 70,000. So that's why Bitcoin trading at 59, that's why it's currently worth 67,000, or our 1.139 Bitcoin is worth 67,429 as of this moment. So we're down a little bit, but I expect that to, change soon enough throughout August. I believe August is going to be a very bullish month for Bitcoin. So I'm very excited for that. And yeah, the reason I stopped trading on this portfolio and now I'm using it as a core swing, a swing trade portfolio for my core positions, is because, to be honest, I want to use different. I'm looking at some other platforms to trade more actively. Like I'm looking at Bybit, BitUnix. I'm looking at Kraken. Even Blowfin. Like I'm looking at a few different options out there, and I want to use a different platform. Most likely one that offers like spot margin. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna eventually, once I get that going, I want to also start live streaming so I can give you guys a little bit more content, a little bit of different content, live streaming for like a couple hours, like an hour, between 1 to 3 hours, and just uh, just chill with you guys. You guys can watch me trade live, or at least manage my portfolios live. I don't do like high. I don't like do a ton of like trades, high volumes, like quickly in and out through the day. Most of my trading is honestly just watching the charts. I can go like days without even placing a trade, but I just sit there. I look at the charts. I have a lot of patience. I wait. I have a very like picky uh, checklist mentally that I go through. Um, so I'm very picky, excuse me, on my trades, but we'll get there when we get there. Excuse me. So yeah, we haven't sold or bought any. Of course, not sold, but we haven't bought and added into our core position, our supplemental position, um, just yet. I want to let it just ride out. And if like we go towards the end of August or like early September and we still don't have um, like a pump, like a decent pump, then I'll probably just continue adding to BITU because I'm quite satisfied with having 80,000 in Bitcoin, straight up spot Bitcoin, owning a little bit more than one coin, and then any extra money I want to um, more aggressively invest that. So having a times 2 Bitcoin ETF, in my opinion, fits me personally quite well, and where my stance on Bitcoin is currently. There's some other, if you guys are interested, there's like, you don't have to go with BITU. There's also other um, decent ETFs that track Bitcoin at a times 2 rate. You guys can look at them. They're all great. I just like BITU. I haven't really researched into a lot of them. I'm happy where I'm at. So I'm not trying to jump into a lot of other stuff. So let's jump into the Bitcoin chart so I can give you guys my opinion on where we're at currently, just a general view on Bitcoin, because I like to leave a more detailed um, how do you say a more detailed I like to give more detailed views on any asset during chart planning videos, and this is on chart planning videos, just a portfolio update. So yeah guys, I want to address also, because I do know there's a lot of like Bitcoin uh, people that are against Bitcoin out there, and I'm gonna put all my biasness out the way. I'm gonna put all my like views like could be considered bias on Bitcoin aside, and I'm gonna say that um, yeah, Bitcoin is still relatively a new asset. It is still very fresh and still has a lot to prove itself when it comes to like trying to become more stable and fit into people's daily life a little bit more, in a stable way. But we can't, be blinded to the fact that there is a lot of demand. There's headlines are being made. A lot of very like high net worth individuals in this world that manage like very large hedge funds and even BlackRock. And there's a ton of um somebodies out there, right? These are nobodies. There's a lot of people that are known out there that are very pro Bitcoin and see it going much higher soon. And there's a lot of companies putting millions and millions, over $1 billion around the world into mining equipment, right? So there's like a large infrastructure in Bitcoin that is something that is hard to miss, right? It is something. So it's virtual money, right? It's virtual gold, as a lot of people say it. Um, the technology behind it is amazing. If you haven't, I recommend you guys check out the Bitcoin white papers. You can look it up quite easily on Google. Um, but we can't be like, you know, trying to avoid the fact that it is making very big headlines. There's a lot of support behind it, and due to all of the adoption going on, there's a lot of selling due to some like Mt. Gox, and I think there was like a German institution that sold a lot of it. That's over. Mt. Gox, it's almost completely done with all their selling, and there's a lot of negative pressure there, but there's like reasons behind them. Again, it's just stuff that you guys can look up yourself. I'm not trying to make this video too lengthy, but we just can't, choose to be blinded towards that, because it's very well known information that this asset is picking up steam. There's a lot of very important institutions and funds out there that kind of like you know have like the majority of wealth in the U.S. and around the world that are heavily investing in this asset, and they're not going to you know do this with something that they don't believe has a lot of upside. And due to a lot of the buying going on, due to a lot of the accumulation going on a lot of different addresses, it's just something that is going to push the price much higher. And then if you look at, and if you guys can like check out, if you guys already know, and if you don't know, Plan B is very well known on X or Twitter and on YouTube. So it's called Plan B. If you guys look him up, I believe his logo is like a hat with a Bitcoin, and I think there's like two red, I think the laser eyes. I'm not sure, but you guys can look him up. He's well known. His YouTube channel is literally just Plan and then the letter B. He and it's just what man, I need to breathe. What he says is what I'm trying to say, but he says it in a lot more detail, and he has like some illustration for you guys. Um, so if you guys want to check that out, you can. I really like his channel. I think I know he's a very intelligent man. Of course, you can see it, you can hear his passion on Bitcoin through his voice. But um, also mining companies, right? It takes like 4 to 8 months for mining revenue to recover, and then when it recovers, a lot of these miners have the option to finally start holding onto Bitcoin instead of selling all of it to cover their expenses and ongoing operation costs. And then you have other companies like Marathon Digital Holdings that are also, in a really good position where they are currently holding onto more and more Bitcoin over time. So there's a lot of demand, there's a lot of headlines, a lot of FOMO, so fear of missing out, that's going to eventually start, and that's going to be due to um, a lot of adoption plus miner revenue being recovered, which will allow them to also continue to hodl, right? And if you guys also look at the bigger picture, right? If you guys look at a lot of charts out there that go over every halving cycle, usually like a handful of months after um, it happens, we start seeing like a big appreciation, right? And that's something that haven't even happened somewhere around here, and we still haven't seen that yet. So it's like, just because it happened before, of course, doesn't have to happen again. Um, but just quick summary, like I'm very pro Bitcoin because I used to be very negative towards Bitcoin, and I used to like think it was terrible until 2020. I started seeing, it's when I actually started researching it, and it's because I never did research on it, but I started researching it, and that's when I got involved in Bitcoin, and like summer 2020, somewhere around there. It's a big part of my life now. I love crypto. This is something that has like taken over my life in a great way. I actively monitor it. I like to trade it. I like to um, learn more and more as I can. And eventually, when I start live streaming, I want to cover more cryptos because it'll be a lot easier to cover them, and like my opinion on a lot of things on a live stream than making like individual videos each time. I just don't really have the time to make individual videos on a ton of different topics. So if I can cover it in a live stream, that'll be great. It'll make things a lot more easier for me and a lot more convenient for you guys, in my opinion, as well. But yeah, that's my opinion on. Come on, there you go. My opinion on Bitcoin. That's where we're currently at on our core position, and um, our 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 core position. It's actually in the red, but our supplemental position with BIT was in the green. I bought that at a great time. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys are noticing the great opportunity that lies in Bitcoin, not just far into the future, but near term. I believe Bitcoin is, for investors and traders out there, I believe right now it's a very great asset. It's currently just under $60,000. And we're getting pretty far into the later of the year, and I strongly believe that Bitcoin is going to be at $100,000 sometime by the end of the year. I don't know. I really like where things are. I'm going to continue to update you guys weekly on this. And again, hope you guys enjoyed and have a great day or night wherever you're at. Take care.